Today on DNVR Buffs Live, who are the core players that make up Colorado's foundation moving forward? Who should Coach Prime build around for the future? We dive into that right now.
Bob Dyson.
Let's go.
Squad. Coming to you live from the Toyota Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores, is DNVR Buffs Live. Hump day. How we feeling?
Feeling great. It is a hump day, but not to a Buffs game, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty good. We were up in Boulder today.
Yeah.
Heard from a couple dogs, a couple cornerstones, potentially, if you will, of this program. So that was fun, and I'm back with the boys, man. How are you feeling?
I feel great.
Was this show 3 for you today?
This is the third show I've done today. Yeah, it's just what I do. What I do. See, if I'm not on a show, then I got to be doing something else. I'd much rather just be on a show. I feel great. I'm actually sad that there's not a game. Like I was 2 weeks ago, I was like, oh, bye week coming up. That's much needed. Now I'm like, damn.
For sure.
Get Juju back out there. I need to see more.
Yep.
Swear.
For sure. But yeah, today on the show, we will talk cornerstone players, the foundation for now and the future for Coach Prime in Colorado. We had Yo-Yo, Attia, and Omarion Miller after, I guess, practice or, I don't know, media availability today. Yeah. And then we'll talk a little bit about the CFP rankings last night. National quarterback rankings, Michigan State getting in trouble again from Mel Tucker still. Crazy.
Jeez.
Yeah. But yeah, let's start with the cornerstones. Scotty, you this is your idea for the most part.
Yeah, kind of.
Do you want to pitch the framework?
Sure. So, my idea was, I don't really know how. It was definitely born out of last week after that game, where it became clear that Julian Lewis is that guy.
Yeah.
And he is certainly the future of this program. It made me think about the other core members of this team, particularly young guys with multiple years of eligibility who could grow with Juju and grow with this program. And obviously Juju's included in that. But I think there are a few guys on both sides of the ball, freshmen, sophomores, redshirt sophomores, again, guys with multiple years of eligibility who I think are going to be on a championship contending team in the next 2 years. And I don't know if I want to start with throwing out some names.
Really quick. So you were calling them cornerstones.
My actual name was the core 8. It was 8 guys that I had in mind, but core group. I think cornerstones is kind of what you were saying.
It's all the same.
Yeah, it really is.
But I was thinking it actually lines up perfectly because you said 4 on each side of the ball, right?
Yep.
How many corners are there?
Oh, wow. Yeah. 4 corners.
4 corners.
Facts. That's hell yeah.
I guess depending on what shape you're talking about. But in a room, I guess is what I was thinking of. There's usually 4 quarters, or at least in a square. So this is tough the more that I think about it. And I think that it's important to frame this in the way that we're talking about it. Because in college football in 2025, Jake and I were talking about this before the show, it's kind of screwed up. You either have a player who played so well that they're getting a raise from you or someone else.
Yeah.
Or you have a player who played poor enough that you don't really want them anymore. And there's very little in between of like, this guy he played exactly to what we're paying him, and someone else isn't going to be willing to pay him more, so we don't have to pay him more.
There's not much gray area involved anymore when there are dollar amounts, values assigned to players.
Coach Prime said of coaching, you either get elevated or terminated. It's kind of how things are in college football now.
Yeah.
So when you come down to it, you're going to end up with a budget that you have. Mm-hmm. Some of that budget is going to be spent on retaining players that you currently have who are going to be offered more money to go elsewhere.
Yeah.
And you got to give them a raise to keep them around.
For sure.
And then you also need to save money to fill some of the areas where you underachieved in. So when we were talking about this, it's like, who is your core? Who is the foundation that you're saying, okay, these are the guys we have to make sure stay here. We cannot allow them to leave because they are what we see as our foundation as a football team. It's funny, we used to talk about this on the Broncos show. We called it the lifeboat. It's a little more morbid, but it's like if the ship was going down and you only had one boat, who's going on the lifeboat?
For sure. It's like your priorities.
Yes.
Like you said, guys who you got to do everything in your power to make sure that they stay in your program and stay happy. And also, I think another way of looking at it is too, Coach Prime always talks about you need like 7-8 dogs.
Yes, great point.
On the field at a time. And again, I'm thinking 4 on each side of the ball. You get 4 that you kind of developed of your own, and maybe you get 3 or 4 out of the transfer portal each year on each side of the ball. And I think that's a valid way to go about it because as we'll get into later, Yo-Yo even mentioned that today. 4 guys made PFF's all Big 12 team of the week this past week. 3 of those 4 guys are underclassmen. And the other guy is Omarion Miller, who obviously has another year of eligibility as well. So that's kind of what we're thinking about in this lens.
And he also said all 4 of those players were brought in traditional high school recruiting too.
Yep.
The other thing I think that's important to keep in mind here is positional value.
For sure.
And this is where things can get a little tricky because there are some great players at positions of lower positional value. And the way that, we always talked about it in the draft was like the positional value essentially goes the quarterback, number 1 by far, the guys that protect the quarterback, the guys that rush the quarterback. That's essentially where the game is won and lost. Then after that, it's like the guys that stop the pass. I would probably go to the corners and secondary there, and then probably the guys that catch the passes.
It's exactly it. It all revolves on the passing game. Exactly in that order is how I do it too. Passer, pass protector, pass rusher, pass defender, pass catcher.
And so that's interesting. And when I look back to last year and like someone like Colton Hood was a guy who probably should have been on the lifeboat. Because when you lost that, you ended up with a hole on your team that makes you vulnerable every week.
Every week.
Let's
get into it.
Yeah, I mean, we start with Julian Lewis, clearly. Just going down the pecking order there. I mean, it's got the most, just the brightest future ahead of him, too. The youngest player on this list as well. So it's a combination of factors when it comes to him. It's just a complete no-brainer.
100%. I mean, this young man got the keys handed to him, literally and figuratively, by Shedeur Sanders. And, how long ago is that now? Maybe
about a year ago.
Almost a year ago now.
Yeah.
And for us to be now here at this point, now that he's the starter of this football team, the quarterback of this football team, with nothing but optimism surrounding him, I think that's obviously just an awesome reality that we're living in right now. But yeah, he is the cornerstone of this team, no doubt, Julian Lewis.
Yeah, I mean, this is non-negotiable.
Yes.
He's the future of the program. And in one opportunity, he basically just like stopped the train in its tracks. So the train was going the wrong way. And he pulled the emergency brake and said like, no, we're going back the other way. And so, yeah, I mean, I rewatched the fourth quarter again today. Like I said, I hate that there's this bye week going on. But just some of the stuff he was doing. The one that actually really bothered me was I thought one of the best plays he made, the little flip to Draylon.
Oh, that was sick, dog.
And then Draylon just willingly went out of bounds.
A yard short of the first down,
And I thought, in my head, that's when they ended up kicking the field goal. It wasn't when they actually converted it with Draylon, so he made up for his mistake. But That goes back to my theory of every play should be treated like fourth down. Just get to the sticks.
Yep.
Anyways, yeah, I mean, he was really special.
And just one last thing on Juju before we move on, man. We talk about perspective a lot recently. Imagine being a program that don't have that position figured out right now.
I mean, look, Oklahoma State, there's zero hope for anything from them. Like, it could be a lot worse.
And there are a lot of programs like that that don't have that position, the most important position in sports, figured out. Not only for just this year, but for the future.
Yeah.
You don't have anything until you have that.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean,
That's my point.
who is it? Wisconsin who's playing like punters at quarterback and stuff?
No way.
It's bad. It's bad.
It really is.
Damn.
Next in the order would be offensive line then. And another no-brainer, Jordan Seaton. I mean, he's just the franchise. That's what Coach Prime called him.
Yeah.
And he is, Julian, obviously the keys were passed to him, right? But Jordan was like the bridge, like the formal bridge between Shedeur Sanders and Julian Lewis, and is really going to be the bridge that kind of keeps that, what 2-12 started here, that tradition kind of going and resetting the standard at Colorado. So Jordan just, I mean, other than the position that he plays, I mean, he's the most important player for the program the last year or so.
I remember saying when we were in Frisco for Big 12 Media Days earlier this year, when I was like, if there is a Mount Rushmore of the Coach Prime era at Colorado, Jordan Seaton is on it. It would go Coach Prime, Shedeur, Travis, and Seaton would be that guy. Because he did it when it wasn't necessarily cool just yet. You know what I'm saying? To commit to Colorado after that 1-11
kind of made
season.
It cool. Yeah.
Exactly right. Bro up there on Undisputed with the shade zone talking about if you a dog, come to Colorado.
Yep.
And that is something that is going to live on, I think, in Colorado football lore for forever, particularly if he goes on to continue to do what he has been doing. So, Julian's the cornerstone, Jordan's the franchise, and both of them are appropriately named.
Yep.
Yeah, those two are hand in hand.
Yeah.
You got to keep both of them.
Got to.
And that alone gets you a long way.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
It's not all you need, but boy, there are a lot of programs, football teams at any level, who have great things at all sorts of other positions, who would trade it all for a great quarterback and a great left tackle, or I should say an elite quarterback and an elite left tackle.
Totally, man.
Hell yeah.
Yo-Yo in that conversation as well, for still on pass protectors.
Well, so how are you thinking of this right now? Are you going through the positions of need, or are you putting down your 4 stones?
I mean, well, look, O is very important, but and you have to keep him, but he's not really he doesn't have the youth on his side that a lot of these other guys could potentially have. I mean, Jordan's gone next year too, so I guess that applies to him, even though he's only a sophomore. But Yo-Yo's a redshirt freshman, and as we'll get to press conferences today, he feels very comfortable playing all 5 positions.
Yeah.
And so you have that with Jordan moving forward. I don't even care where he lines up, but you can feel comfortable with him on the field at either position, and then it's just simple math. You only have 3 positions to fill. You did that this last offseason. That's very important.
You might have just talked me into that, bro. Because I'll be honest, my core 4 on offense were the 2 we just talked about, Juju, Jordan, and a couple of receivers in O and JoJo, particularly JoJo being just a true sophomore. But you're right. We've talked about offensive line-wise, how difficult it is to find good offensive linemen via the transfer portal. I think Colorado found at least one in Xavier Hill, and I think Zy Crisler has showed flashes as well. But this program has found out how difficult it is to find talented offensive linemen in the portal. And if you can get somebody like Yo-Yo out of the high school ranks who you truly developed, international guy who wasn't even really playing American football for too long, and he has turned into, in just 1 year's time, one of the best linemen on this team.
Exactly.
One of the most versatile players on the team. This dude has lined up literally at every single position on the offensive line, including jumbo tight end this season. So you might, like I said, you might have talked me into that. I think he might actually have to be included, also because of the fact that he's a redshirt freshman. You got at least 3 more years with him in the fold. He's already kind of turned into a leader, a guy that guys in the locker room kind of gravitate towards and whatnot. So,
and like Jordan too, he's kind of keeping he was obviously around for Shador and Travis and all that just for his redshirt freshman year.
Yeah,
He's kind of, and we see it all the time. You know how like he's kind of one of the adopted like Sanders. You know, like he's Sanders, really kind of help handle that transition of culture and standard. Really.
Yeah, I think they're gonna kill me for not remembering, but I think the name of the documentary that our Nuggets guys made when they went to Serbia was 1,000 Invisible Threads.
Yes.
And he was talking about the connective tissue of all of the history of Serbian basketball, and like that's kind of what you're getting at here. Like he's part of the invisible threads.
Yes.
And I think you talked me into it too, because of, and it's something that Scotty mentioned, is leadership.
Yeah.
Clearly an area that you need to upgrade, but you certainly can't afford to lose guys who are a part of that now.
Right.
So you want to add more leaders to this crew in the off season, but that's a guy who's like a locker room glue guy,
for sure.
A leader, a signal of your ability to develop. Like he kind of just like checks all the boxes. He's young.
Yeah.
Fair.
He's in it. Part of the core four. Shout out to Yo-Yo. Hell
Let's go. All right, we got to take our first break, and then
All right. Go ahead.
Okay. And then we'll get back to the list. New partner alert. Shout out to our new friends over at Brunt Workwear. Man, best in the business. If you're out there, working on your feet, just doing the Lord's work, all the hard jobs out there, Brunt is the company for you. It's not just about work boots. They offer a full range of high-performance gear. Look at those. Stylish as well. Sheesh.
Oh, sleek.
High-performance gear built for tough jobs.
You got those things on. Someone's like, this person's going to do a job.
This person means business.
From heavy-duty work pants to weather-resistant jackets, Brunt designs durable, reliable workwear to keep you protected and productive in any condition. They've just got the best boots on the planet, man, and they know it. And to prove that, they'll let you try any of their products out on the job just to, drive it home that they're built for the working man. With temps dropping and the holidays coming up, it's time to treat yourself or the hardworking man in your life to real comfort. Skip the throwaway gifts and get him something built to last. Brunt Workwear. Our listeners get $10 off their entire order with code DNVR at checkout. That's bruntworkwear.com and use code DNVR. Order today and let them know you heard it here on DNVR Buffs Live.
Am I allowed to wear those as like someone who doesn't really work like a real job?
I don't know.
Because they look sweet. I kind of want to try them on right when we're
I think
done
they're for everybody, but they're especially for the hard-working blue-collar
Like
type.
I
You know what I'm
said,
saying?
temps are dropping,
Yeah.
It's true. All right, good. Shout out to our friends over at Common Spirit. I realized this, especially this weekend, has stood out to me. Now I've always known this about myself, but it really popped out to me this week. I'm just addicted to competing. Just like whatever it is, just give me
competitor.
give me something where there's wins and losses and I'm in. And when you do that, you get active. You're playing pickleball, tennis, basketball, whatever it may be. You want to make sure you're taking care of yourself, especially as we get older. And so you want to check out Common Spirit Health and their sweet new sports medicine program, which isn't just about treating injuries, because they're great at that. But we all hope to just not have to deal with that. So they do a lot of preventative care as well, including performance enhancement and just whatever it takes to get you to peak condition. So don't let an injury keep you on the bench and keep you away from your competition addiction. Or even better, get proactive about your health. Go to mountain.commonspirit.org. Common Spirit Health, official healthcare partner of the 8-2, first place Denver Broncos football club.
All right, continuing on with the foundational pieces for Coach Prime in Colorado for now and the future. So offensive line, look, I still think Chauncey and Carday are really, really important to the future of this football team. But obviously, just in terms of their development, and development is not linear. Like you can't compare their development to Carday or to Yo-Yo and Jordan. You know what I mean? So, but there's players at all these positions we're going to talk about who are very, very important to the future.
Yep.
Who may not just, I guess, be the premium, most important guys.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, that's an important thing to point out too. Like just because someone doesn't make it into the 8, doesn't mean that you don't want them back.
Exactly.
But you would like to have a foundation of guys where you say, like, as long as we get these guys back, we've got a great foundation.
Yep. I guess just sticking with offense and pass catcher.
So you got one spot left on offense. It's tough.
It's very tough. But this is why pass catcher in like the hierarchy of the positional value is not as high as the other ones. Like
For sure.
So
For sure. And again, if you don't make the list, it doesn't mean you're not wanted back. But at the same time, wide receiver is the deepest position in sports. Mm-hmm. There are wide receivers everywhere, and there's going to be turnover at that position every year.
Yep.
And honestly, too, I think as we're talking about pass catchers, maybe as opposed to running backs, I think running back is a position that has just become so much by committee that it's hard to put a single running back into this conversation that we're talking about in terms of like true core priorities. But JoJo is the guy for me. I don't know how y'all feel about it for y'all last spot. This is the AAC Freshman of the Year last year, a true sophomore this year, clearly immediately built the rapport with both quarterbacks, but particularly, Juju. And we've seen that the last couple of weeks, even the week before that, in the Iowa State upset as well when Caden was still playing quarterback. JoJo is just that guy. And another reason why I think he belongs in the core 8 to me, and this has been touched on by him and Coach Phillips, he's still pretty raw when it comes to his receiver development. Like, this is a high school quarterback. You know what I'm saying? This is still, like I said, a true sophomore. And you can tell he's still trying to figuring out the nuances of route running and just playing the position. But the talent is undeniable. He has clearly already made strides, let's call it from week 1 to week 10. And I also think he's another locker room guy who everybody in that locker room loves to be around. Like that infectious kind of like smile and laugh and kind of vibe,
all the time.
vibe and aura and whatnot that JoJo has. So I think JoJo to me is that guy that I would throw in there as my last core on offense.
I mean, yeah, when you consider the youth, he's already on the field. He's trusted. He's able to build chemistry. He is very important. And not to say that, Quentin and Quanell are not. It's just what JoJo has done. I mean, I'm on his recruiting page, man. This guy was listed as a safety in the 2024 recruiting class.
That's crazy.
Like, this guy he's got so much more room to grow.
For real.
And he's already flashed that potential at the position last year and this year. So, yeah, I'd agree.
So I'm looking at the stats right now. Omarion Miller obviously leading the team. 34 catches, which is so low.
He really is.
34 catches for 652 yards and 7 touchdowns. JoJo's right there, though, right behind him at 30 catches for 450 yards and 4 touchdowns. There is a part of me that really thinks that I want Omarion in this group.
I mean, me too, for sure.
Because
we all do.
He's like the prototype. I mean,
he's a pro.
Yes. He's just everything from a physical standpoint that you would want in your wide receiver 1. I just think that in this exercise, which I just know people are going to misunderstand, the combination of youth and production is worth a lot.
Yes.
So I think you guys talked me into JoJo, but it is hard for me to not choose Omarion here just because of like the way that he's able to dominate when he gets hot.
Yeah.
Is not common. You can find receivers everywhere, but like someone like who's just like, I'm on a hot streak, you cannot stop me right now, is tough. That being said, is like close to just taking that next step, and I hope, first of all, I hope he's back and comes back and we get to see like the full potential of Juju and O together.
For sure.
But he has an opportunity to take his game to another level with the little things.
Yeah.
The little nuances, whether that's alignment, focus in terms of not jumping before a play, blocking down the field, which he is like sculpted to do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like he could be so good in all of those areas and really like get himself into first round type of talk. So it's hard for me to not put him there because of that. But when you're thinking about this, it's like you'd love to win the Big 12 championship next year, but your core is like a multi-year investment.
So 2 things. One, O knows all that. He talked about that today, and we'll talk about that later about what he thinks he can be better at. So I think we're all on the same page there. Secondly, like if we did this exercise last year, 2 years ago, O is clearly a cornerstone. You know what I mean? And
correct.
it's not like he's being demoted from being a cornerstone. It's just that when you combine the potential and the production and the youth,
he's a senior next year.
Exactly.
That's one of the biggest reasons.
That's where it all comes down to. And like, again, he would have been a cornerstone player the last 2 years. Like he kind of just already is, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like Cornerstones, it's just like, it's a multi-year thing. It's not just a next year thing.
Yep. It's just like in the video games, like the younger the guy is, the faster he develops.
Right, exactly.
You know, so like you try to build this team full of skilled younger guys that are going to develop, so that really like Julian Lewis's third year on campus could like you're always building towards something. Exactly. Coach Prime got here, it was like everything is towards next year. Mm-hmm. Travis and Shador's last year.
Right.
Now you're building towards that next moment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And one more thing, too, you mentioned kind of the prototype for O, and I agree with a lot of what you said, but I think the prototype for a receiver in like high level college football and certainly the NFL, I think it's changed a little bit. Mm-hmm. I saw somebody point this out recently. You look at the top receivers in the NFL right now in terms of just production: JSN, Puka Nacua, Pickens, Emeka Buka, Chris Olave, like guys who aren't massive.
That's like 5 Ohio State
kinda,
guys.
that is actually kind of crazy. Amon-Ra St. Brown, like Lad McConkey, like guys who are kind of like in a smaller build, but they're just so versatile. Like they're slippery in and out of breaks. Like they know how to just get open and create separation. And I think that is literally just JoJo's prototype. Like he's not going to blow you away with his speed or his ability to jump, although he can do those things. Sure. But it's just the feel for the game that I think is kind of what has now become the prototype at receiver. Like it's not like the Andre Johnsons and the Calvin Johnsons. It's really not that prototype anymore. It's kind of like these guys that I'm talking about, and I think JoJo really fits that.
100%.
That's such a great point. JoJo's 6'2", 200.
Yeah.
I mean, that's right in that area.
Yes.
And he has the other thing that all of those guys have too, which is the vertical explosiveness.
Yes.
And I'm not talking about vertical on the field. I'm talking about vertical in the sky.
That. Hell yeah. Yep. Definitely.
Defense. I don't know where you want to start. I guess it'd be pass rusher.
Yeah.
And there's two clear options again. Yeah. Alex McPherson and London Merritt. What those two have shown this year, obviously their pedigree coming from IMG, and just being built for this, since however long they were at IMG. I know London, I think, was there a bit longer than Alex, right?
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, you saw it this year, and you just can't help but imagine, those two as bookends. What could that look like in 2 years from now?
And I completely agree with you. We're going to add those two guys into the core 8 here, London and Alex. And as we sit here, we've added 6 guys. Half of them come from IMG. And that is noteworthy. Mm-hmm. And that pipeline has to continue to be tapped into 100%, because clearly they produce dogs, and clearly that pipeline has been opened by Jordan Seaton. They went back to it obviously last year, got 2 dogs in Alex and London, and they have quickly become cornerstones. So that's just something I want to point out. But yeah, London and Alex, we all 3 of us knew they were going to be quickly impactful. Mm-hmm. They have done everything that we thought they could have done and plus more. And yeah, the sophomore year version of them, the junior year version of them, is going to be scary. Those guys are future NFL players, particularly London.
Fact on both. I think both of them are future NFL players.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, we're building a football team right now.
Yeah.
It's actually really exciting me for the future going through this, how much young, really, really top tier talent is on this team.
I mean, and Scott brought up the word perspective again. And it's like, I know there's not everything has gone ideal to this point, but like, I think that's really what I was hoping the point would be driven home with this, is like things could be so much worse right now. You compare to this program to where it was 3 years ago. This is night and day. Like there's legitimate like building blocks. There's legitimate steps that have been taken with the coaching staff, the roster, just, where the program lies prestigious wise. There's just so much that is not as bad as people think it is.
That's exactly it. And it's what frustrates me when I see, this constant back and forth on Twitter of like people mad about Coach Prime and then people clapping back and saying like, you don't know what you have. And like, it's just this thing that's like people really lose perspective quickly of where we were. Those 2 games before the West Virginia game, like it just put people into a really bad mental space because it felt too much like before then.
And I get that.
But that's why like this segment is so important.
Yeah.
Because like we would have never in our lives dreamed of a Jordan Seaton coming here before Coach Prime. We would have never in our lives dreamed of a Julian Lewis coming here. London Merritt, we flipped from Ohio State. We could never have done that.
Yep.
And so you can go on down the list. Like there are big improvements that need to be made within the program for us and for everyone, including Coach Prime, to get this team to where we all want it to go. But the level of talent that has been brought in by a guy who apparently can't recruit
It's crazy.
is better than we've had in a very, very, very long time.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Do you have something?
No,
Oh, okay.
I just want to say the next one. I think you break from the traditional positional value scale
Okay.
to make sure you keep this guy around, and that is Tawfiq Bayard.
100%.
You want to talk about playing with pride and passion? Something that we talked about 2 weeks ago.
Hell yeah.
He does it every single week, no matter what, no questions asked. Leadership, whether that's on or off the field, like you want to talk about being a dog, he just hits everything in such a way that like safety actually falls pretty low on the the traditional positional. Wow, that's a mouthful. I said it twice now. Traditional positional value scale, and it just doesn't matter with a guy like Tawfiq Bayard, especially given his youth.
100%. A redshirt sophomore, bruh. A redshirt sophomore, already the best defensive player on this team, right? I don't think I'm tripping in saying that, right? Certainly been the most consistent. He's been the best this year.
Yep,
Absolutely.
That's undeniable. And this is the first transfer that we're adding to the core 8, I believe, which again speaks to how well they've recruited some talent out of the high school ranks. But yeah, Tawfiq that's a future pro. I mean, his big bro is literally one of the best safeties in the league, balling for one of the best teams
All right.
in the NFL right now, the Chicago Bears. But yeah, Tawfiq, I mean, honestly, when I saw him and heard him step up to that podium after the TCU game, and you could just see the pissed offness in his face. And I think that was the first time this season that I saw that from a player, where it was palpable. You can feel their frustration and how much they cared and how much they were pissed off by the result. And that's what this defense needs, right? We all knew how important Cameron Silman-Craig was to this team, this defense the last 2 years, and it was a bummer to have him move on to the NFL, but his reincarnation's right here, right in the number 7 once again, rocking that Shark 2.0. So Tawfiq is definitely a cornerstone player of this program.
I mean, he's another one who was like, I'm not going to say handpicked, but I mean, he was formally passed the keys pretty much by Cam.
100%.
So, I mean, look, Cam could say jump. I'll say how high basically at this point, because that guy is just a natural born leader and dog.
Love that guy.
But, I mean, Tawfiq's kind of got that too. You mentioned it. I mean, you can just tell with how he plays, the passion and the care he has for his teammates in the game. It's not very common on this year's team, but shout out Tawfiq.
100%. Leading this team in tackles after really not being involved for, let's call it, the first 3 weeks of the season.
And Saturday was an even bigger, like,
Yes.
look at it. I mean, misses the first half, instant, like, comes back in the second half. It's just instant impact. Like, it's just like 3 straight tackles on the drive and stuff.
He
like,
pretty much forces the turnover on the John Slaughter interception.
Oh,
that
yeah,
doesn't
he
happen
did.
without Tawfiq.
so,
I think he got a piece of it.
He did. He did.
yeah, man.
Yep.
We got to take a break. And then we have one more player to add.
Final stone.
Shout out to the homies over at Breckenridge Brewery, the official craft beer of DNVR, and a ton of my favorites. Shout out the Avalanche Amber Ale. You can find that one basically wherever. I found that out in Salt Lake when we were there a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
My all-time favorite, though, the Mountain Beach Sour. May not be Mountain Beach Sour season, but it always is. When I am picking my favorite Breck brew, they got the Vanilla Porter Junior. It's porter season.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
We don't, no junior anymore.
Oh, my bad. Vanilla Porter. Sorry. Good company, hard seltzers, and much, much more. Come drink some Breck brews with us at the DNVR bar, or find it with their beer locator at www.breckbrew.com. Shout out Breckenridge Brewery.
And shout out to the squad over at Game Time, man. We are in the peak of sports season, man. NHL is in full swing. The NFL, college football, all of it. The NBA included, man. And Game Time is the place for you to get into the building. Because if you want to see greatness in Ball Arena, witness what Nikola Jokic is doing right now on the basketball court, man, go hit up our friends over at Game Time to make sure you can get into the building. And you know you're total upfront with Game Time, man. There are no surprise fees, at checkout. Fees are included. You can get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy on Game Time. So take the guesswork out of buying NFL, NBA, NHL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app today, create an account, and use code BUFFS, BUFFS, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem that code BUFFS, BUFFS, for $20 off. Tap ticket, download the Game Time app today.
Some Big TZ just pointed out that Bayard's doing all this with a club attached to his arm.
Yes.
If you want to call it that.
He's on a Flintstones cast, you silly.
With the amount of clubs that we have on this football team, I think we should see what it's like. Like, let's get
show with the club.
Yeah, let's get Low down here, whoever wraps those guys
That'd be
up.
hilarious.
Get us our clubs and like do some sort of Olympic decathlon.
Like, I'm trying to pull up this addery in my club. I can't get it.
I might text Neely after this, see if he can hook us up for next week
for the pregame show.
Just for a whole day almost, like press conference with the club, takeaways with the club, show
Yes.
with the club.
But we got to do like stuff. You got to like pour a cup of coffee with the club.
There's dead ass close to like 10 players though on the team right now with the club.
Yeah, and 7 of them are in the secondary. It's crazy.
We got more clubs than South Beach.
It's wild.
Swear.
The last player to join the defensive Cornerstones, Brandon
BDS.
Davis Swain.
BDS. I think he solidified that on Saturday too. I think he kind of had a strong, maybe even surprising start to the season, because I don't think a lot of people expected him to be in the rotation the way he was right away in week 1, against Georgia Tech. And I think a few weeks after that, he looked like a guy who was playing college football for the first time a lot. And like I said, Saturday, it looked like everything clicked for him right in that game, right away, first quarter, forced a fumble, had a sack, was just so disruptive at the point of attack in that game on Saturday against West Virginia. So I think BDS, again, is somebody, a redshirt freshman, just like Yo-Yo, who came into Colorado as a high school recruit with a lot of hype. This is somebody who set the state of Michigan's all-time sack record.
Mm-hmm.
All-time sack record.
Insane.
And trust me, they play good football in the state of Michigan.
Where Bryce Underwood came from. He was probably sacking him.
And a lot of dogs.
Where
So
Benny Fowler came from.
Shout out Benny.
And I remember even week 1, when Unk was kind of previewing BDS's kind of breakout,
Yeah.
he told us, like, Warren Sapp,
Yes.
Coach Sapp would watch him sometimes in practice and be like, I wasn't doing that at 18 years
Yeah.
old. I wasn't doing that when I was his age.
Mm-hmm.
So BDS, again, because of the youth, because of the potential that he's already shown, he is a cornerstone player, because, again, the sophomore version of him, the junior year version of him,
Yeah.
is going to be on NFL draft boards.
Yeah, he already has just like a grown-ass man look about him.
Yeah.
And he's a redshirt freshman. I mean, you're
Yep.
going to get to see what he looks like in 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
And this is a player who's also going through kind of a position change still.
For sure.
He was an edge when he came in. I mean, that would have been insane if he set the sack record as a 3 technique or a defensive lineman. But he started out at CU as an edge last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was quiet. I mean, I don't even know if he really saw the field at all.
No,
No, he
I think he redshirted like full on.
Mm-hmm.
And then as you broke it down, Scotty, he just kind of, emerges late in camp, and he kind of spoke about that as well. The last time we talked to Brandon Davis Swain, he was 6'3", 263 as a high school senior coming into his freshman season. Like, I don't know what he's listed at now. I mean, I can tell you what the roster says, I guess, but he's still like fully becoming a defensive lineman, like a 3 technique. You know what I mean? Like that's his role. Like, so he's just gonna get better. And this, what you're seeing from him as a redshirt freshman, has got to be very encouraging. The production to this point, for sure.
When we talked about the positional value earlier, and the third one on the list is pass rush.
Mm-hmm.
and when you think pass rush, you usually think of the edge, but I think just about anyone would trade a elite edge rusher for a elite interior rusher.
100%.
I'm not saying he's there yet, but he could get there. And so if you have London and Alex on the outside causing havoc, and he's getting on in through the inside, that's how you truly, end up with a Broncos like pass rush, because you've got Nick and Jonathan Cooper doing it on the outsides, and Zach Allen actually absolutely ruining people's lives on the interior.
Zach Allen is a dog.
Yes, he is.
He really is.
He is crazy.
That's what great defenses look like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Georgia, I mean, when they're at their peak, they're only rushing 4, and it's because they have Michael Williams
Smith,
and Nolan Smith back there, and then Jordan Davis and
Jalen Carter.
Yeah, like it's crazy. Ohio State's had teams like that too. When they had the Bosas, Chase Young, like Clemson's had fronts like that too. You know what I mean? So the blueprint, it's like, again, and we can kind of wrap this segment up here, but the blueprint to winning and becoming a dominant football team is already in place and being acted upon at Colorado. And the steps that need to be taken to reach that, I mean, there's still a lot more. I'm not going to say you're even halfway up the ladder to get there, but you're a lot further along the ladder than a lot of other teams in your conference and just around the country.
And last thing for me on this, I think another thing that this exercise illuminates is obviously that they're legitimate, at least 8 cornerstone pieces already on this roster. And you look at defensively, right? You got 3 guys on the defensive line. You got somebody in the secondary. That should put the focus, the priority in terms of recruiting high school and transfer portal on the linebackers, on corners.
Yes.
That should be the emphasis defensively. Offensively, we have 2 offensive linemen in the core 8. We got a pass catcher and the quarterback, obviously.
Yeah.
That should put we got to find a dog running back.
Sure.
And again, I think Micah is going to be involved, and I still believe in him. But I mentioned this on the show with you the other day as well. Like, this should put the emphasis on Marshall Faulk included, finding a guy at running back who you can pair with Julian Lewis and these receivers and Jordan Seaton and Yo-Yo up front to really supercharge this offense.
Yeah. Just real quick on this, because there's other stuff we have to talk about, but we didn't mention Cam or Draylon. Like, what Cam has in that speed, and it's I can't stand that he keeps getting hurt, man. It's such a shame to see that constantly happening, but I think he's on the fringe too. If he can just fully get that confidence, have a breakout game, I think that you could really see Cam Michael, elevate his game and potentially enter this conversation.
I would love to see him run a 9 route.
Yeah, totally.
I want to see what that looks like.
Kind of sick we haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Not in a good way.
Yeah, we never really saw it with Jimmy either, which obviously,
yeah,
it is what it is. So let's go through it. Just one last time.
Yep.
Juju, Seat, Yo-Yo, JoJo. And on the defensive, it's London, Alex, Tawfiq, BDS.
Yep.
That's serious, man.
Yeah.
For real.
All those guys are young, and incredibly talented.
And want it. Hungry.
And hungry. And that is a real foundation. And it's not the end of the foundation, but that group of 8 players can take you somewhere.
Definitely.
Totally. I mean, no one's ever going to really put in the work to make this happen because it'd take a lot to find it out. But in terms of like young cores around college football, like, I don't know how many other teams, there might be 20 or fewer teams that would take that young core. You know what I mean?
Yep.
All right. Let's go to press conferences. Actually, let's take our final break. And then we'll wrap up. Shout out to the homies over at Toyota, the vehicle for coming out here to Colorado to experience all of the beauty and features that the Bucks State has to offer. Whether you're going out into the mountains or driving around the city, Toyota's got you covered with 17 models available with all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, including the Epic 4Runner, or 16 other or different hybrid vehicles to choose from, including the Tundra iForce Max hybrid truck. They are known for their SUVs as well. They can take over the city, the trail, wherever you're going. Just super versatile, like some of the players we were just talking about. Visit your Front Range stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota is a proud partner of CU Athletics and the official vehicle of DNVR. Let's go places.
Also, shout out to our friends at Christie Sports. It's that time of year. It's right around the corner, ski season, and you got to be ready with your rentals if you're going up for a quick weekend. And our friends at Christie Sports have the best in the business to offer. They've got high-quality gear, industry-leading prices, and 50-plus locations everywhere you love to ski and ride. So you can just drive right up there, find the location while you're there, get your rentals, leave them there, and head on back home. It's a great setup. And they even do season rentals. Rent your gear, have it for the season, and then you bring it right back to them. And you can get 20% off those season rentals when you book online at the link in the comments and use the code DNVR20. You must book your season rentals online to get the discount, and you got to book by November 23rd, so time is running out. Shout out to our friends over at Christie Sports.
All right. Press conferences were good today. I don't know how much we're going to be able to get to, though. So maybe we move a little quicker. We'll see. Here is Yo-Yo and Omarion talking about the young core that the team has built and just where they think the team stands when it comes to that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the best thing you can say, I know it was last week, now we're in the new week, we're trying to get it again. But with the Big 12 with the Big 12 Team of the Week, most of the guys were young people, freshmen and sophomores. So it's great to see that most of them were high schoolers too. So you can really build a future up on that.
I just feel like, here, I mean, you're playing with Coach Brown, so, the minute that you do something bad, everybody's going to point it out. Everybody's going to, see that. And, it's the same as you do something good, the whole world knows. So, like, why wouldn't you want to stay here? And I feel like, our team, they know that. You feel me? Even the season going like this, I feel like, there's something good around the corner. I think our team sees that too.
There you go.
Hell yeah. Love that from, Yo-Yo in particular, just realizing the importance of high school recruiting and getting guys at the beginning of their college development and how important that can just be for the nucleus of a locker room. Transfers is going to continue to be a part of this program and college football as a whole, but the more you can up the ante in terms of the guys that you recruit out of the high school ranks. And it seems like this program, this recruiting staff is taking that initiative, right? We saw from 2023 to 2024, the numbers increase from the high school ranks and decrease from the guys that you bring in the portal. And I think we'll see that trend continue this upcoming offseason, especially when you have success stories like Yo-Yo and some of the guys you were talking about who you recruited at the high school ranks balling for you.
What I think is interesting to point out is almost all of them are success stories. But that's by design.
Yes.
Right.
They, when they go into the high school ranks, they want to get guys that are going to come here and play early. Even BDS, like playing as a redshirt freshman, is almost like late for them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yo-Yo playing as a redshirt freshman, but that's early for other schools, and there's a reason for that because they're bringing in guys that they think can help them quickly.
Definitely.
And so, as much as everyone thinks that just means, okay, you hit on high school guys, so that means more high school guys, more hit. It's not necessarily the case. We're going to continue on the same path, which is slightly more high school recruiting every year while still filling in immediate needs in the transfer portal.
Totally. Here's both of them again, just talking about Julian Lewis and what he's brought to the team.
It was great. My first start, his first start, we both made it Big 12 Team of the Week, so it's just great. I don't think there's a difference. He still got control. We really don't care. Like his first start, his 10th start, the second he in the huddle and he talk, we all listen to him and just play.
Man, it was good to see Juju, excel at high level. Offensively the whole game, I feel like that was good for him. Not playing really the whole season, to come out and do that right there. All the quarterbacks, I have a good relationship, but me and Ju, like, we play a lot, so we play a lot. We play around a lot. We always talking a lot. Even when it was Caden's turn, I'll come to the sideline. He'll tell me what he see, what's going on. So I say we got a good relationship, and it's coming along really well right now. It's been good, seeing a young guy, trying to take charge. Being a freshman, coming in trying to take charge of the whole offense, man. I feel like he's doing a good job at it, and he's getting better day by day at it.
Talking about just going back to the sidelines and always talking to Julian, man. I mean, What's what we talked about. Everyone gravitates to Julian like they do to Shedeur, but also just the respect Julian commands is so notable.
And I mean, his understanding of the game is top tier.
Yeah, they want his insight. Yeah.
Exactly. What are you seeing from the defense? Because even when he's standing there on the sideline, he's looking at the defense. How would I attack it? What throw would I have made on that play? And so he's probably coming back to or whoever's talking to him, being like, hey, just so you know, they're rolling this way or doing this when they show this look. So as a receiver, you might not always be looking out at the whole field the way that a quarterback would look at it.
I'd just love to hear the phrase taking control, taking charge, particularly in the huddle. For 18-year-old, for a true freshman to have that control already within the huddle and have all eyes on him and all ears open to what he's saying, whether that be in the huddle or on the sideline, that's the mark of a special leader. And it's just the beginning of it.
And I think they believed on Saturday.
Yeah. You can see it.
They played with a little pep in their step. Like during the fourth quarter when they're going down to try and score, when I could feel like urgency and belief in like, we're gonna go do this, we're gonna go score here. And I think you're gonna see that again against Arizona State. Like that, just we got a guy. That's what Akib said on our show. Like so, there's certain guys you look in the huddle, you say like, we can win with this guy
for sure.
Here's both of them again. Just lots of changes offensively, obviously this season. Play caller, running backs. I mean, Julian, of course. So here's both of them on the changes to the offense this year.
Yeah, I kind of feel a little bit of different. We're starting to stretch it out more vertically. Not too much, but the pass game is starting to get stretched out more vertically now.
A lot. I feel that was one of the greatest moves we did. Like our other running backs, they crazy dudes, great dudes, but having them back there is like, because they're not gonna approach it like a real running back. So that makes it hard on the linebackers to get to them. And they shift here fast, especially Cam, the fastest guy. So it's great to have him back there.
So Yo-Yo's talking about Cam and Draylon playing running back. I thought that was pretty insightful.
What did he say?
Basically saying because they're like so raw still, like it's hard for linebackers to kind of know what they're thinking or going to do because they're still kind of learning the position themselves and they play the game at running back still like wide receivers.
Yeah. That was interesting. I mean, I don't know if he literally meant this, but he said he was like, I think that's one of the best things we've done.
Yeah.
Is moving both of those guys to running back because you see the potential and the one Cam run that, again, I hate that he got hurt right after that, but that was just a glimpse of what he's capable of is the more he gets comfortable playing that position.
The way that he cuts it back and then takes advantage of all these guys chasing him by cutting it back even further and further and further.
Thanks.
That was very instinctual and impressive.
Yep.
But the most important part of that to me, and I wrote about that today on the DNVR.com, y'all go check it out, become a diehard if you're on already, is talking about the passing game being stretched more vertically now that Brett Bartolone is calling plays. And you could call it coincidence or not. Omarion Miller's best 2 games of the season have come these last 2 weeks with Brett Bartolone calling plays. His first 100-yard game this season came with Brett Bartolone calling plays. The last 2 weeks, Omarion Miller, 11 catches, 222 yards, 3 touchdowns in just 2 games. That is what he is capable of. And obviously we've seen the deep shots, and this is, you could say this is Juju or you can say this is Bart. I think this is a combination of both.
I was just waiting for you to finish.
And you look at Juju's pass attempts last week against Virginia, almost half of them, 16 of his 35 pass attempts were intermediate or deep throws. Intermediate or deep throws, almost half of them. So that is that exactly right. This is how it should be when you have talents like this.
PFF.
It's facts. But yeah, it's that was good. That was good to hear. And I think he was smiling a little bit. I don't think he wanted to say too much because when you say stuff like that, people think that you're taking shots at
of course
the previous guy who was calling plays. But that's what this offense should be built around. When you have a quarterback with that arm talent, when you have receivers who can go get the football like and JoJo and Sincere and some of those guys have, that should be the staple of this offense. And I think we saw some semblance of that last week, and I just hope that continues throughout the rest of the season.
Yeah, I mean, not to take any credit away from Bart, who I thought did a great job calling game, but to me, like, it's the quarterback. It's the quarterback. And there's just sometimes the defense wants you to throw vertical.
Yeah.
They're saying, like, we're going to heat you up. Your only option is going to be to throw over our heads.
You're right.
And good luck. And that's what they did to Juju.
Mm-hmm.
And you just said, okay.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, dot. And so they're not going to be able to defend him that way. And then they're going to try to have to defend him another way. And he'll probably be able to, like, you saw him pick apart some zone concepts as well during that game.
Definitely.
At times. So, yeah, I mean, that's what having top tier quarterback play does for you, is it allows you to attack the defense in the way that they want you to attack them, and they still can't stop you.
Yep. Exactly. Okay, here's Omarion talking about finally being healthy this year. Look, he's faced some criticism. We talked about it earlier. I think that he's kind of recognized that as well. So him talking about, things he can improve on, and being a well-rounded player, and also just blocking out the outside noise.
It feels good to, I wouldn't say I played a full season, but played partially a full season, man. I'm just feeling good. My freshman year not being able to play as much with the guys in front of me. So my second year, me getting hurt. This year being able to play, a lot more games, man, and produce feels great. It's just I got to bring the same energy, as it's a pass play. And I've been trying to work on that day by day. I got a hand injury, and I've been trying to play through that, that nobody don't know about. But I'm playing through that. I don't want to, cause that as an excuse. But just try to do my best at it. For sure, this summer, try to do as much as I can, to be the complete wide receiver that I want to be, to get myself, to the top spot as much as possible.
I saw your tweet last night. You think people outside the building still kind of sleep on you and your talent a little bit?
I definitely feel that way. I feel like, a lot of people don't see what I see, or what other people see about me. And it's totally fine, though, But, as long as I keep doing me, I don't worry about that. I just like to troll a little bit, for sure.
So Coach Prime said it like last week or the week before, right? He was asked about criticism of players, like what's fair criticism, and Coach said everything's fair. And that just comes with the responsibility of being a football player, right? Playing for this program under the lights and going out there, you're just going to get criticism. And he obviously talked about that. And there's things that he has to do better. I mean, he got called for penalties. He fumbled the ball last week. He obviously had a great game, but he's got a more way to go to become a truly great all around player, right? Mm-hmm. All that being said, this recent thing of when players start playing well for this program, then it's no, we got to hammer them, criticize them. Yeah. That's got to stop.
Well, there's a lot of focus on what guys can't do.
It's crazy.
Not enough on what guys can do.
We forget these are young players, man. Yeah. I mean, O's 20 years old. He's still learning. He's by no means a finished product. He'd tell you that. But this criticizing and hammering every little thing they do, and just adding them on Twitter and calling them soft and all this stuff, it's embarrassing, honestly.
Yeah, it's very, very counterproductive. If you are a fan of the program, you want what's best for them.
For sure.
These guys are being coached. They're, like you said, they're kids. And I really do think, though, it has to do with the money. As soon as people start getting paid, everyone looks at them differently and thinks that, oh, well, they make more money than me, so they're not a kid anymore. But I agree with Coach Prime that criticism is, and he did finish that up by saying, as long as it's not personal.
Yes, that is true.
As long as it's not personal. And that goes back to my when I first got into this business, what a player said to me was hey, we don't even care if you criticize us and we think you're wrong, as long as it's about football.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
As long as it's about football. And we might think you're an idiot because you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But we're not going to have an issue with you. And that's maybe not always true, but I think for the most part it is true. But you're right. Like I said, too much talk about what guys can't do, not enough talk about what they can do.
Yes.
And what O can do is make plays.
Look, I think every player on this team, Julian, Jordan, Tawfiq would tell you there's things they have to work on. There's things that they can do much better on and off the field to be a better teammate, player, just part of this team. But going after your top guys is so counterproductive.
Yep.
It makes no sense.
It really doesn't. And also, I think O kind of revealed something there about he's been dealing with a hand injury.
Yes.
And I don't know how much that's impacted him, maybe even blocking. And it's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. He said it's not an excuse. But again, there are things that players deal with that don't always come to light. Mm-hmm. You don't know the full story out there. You know what I'm saying? And that last clip there from O, you saw him smirk at the beginning. That was me asking him about his tweet last night.
What was his tweet?
So he quote retweeted a Jamar Chase tweet from September. This is a 3-month-old tweet. And the original Jamar Chase tweet is like laughing emojis, and it goes, "Man, y'all better leave me alone, man." And quote retweets, and it goes, "Once again, cuz," with laughing emojis. So I was like, I see your tweet last night, bro. I'm like, do you think there are people like outside of the building who are just like still sleeping on you and what you bring to the table, your talent? And you heard his answer. He goes, "I definitely feel that way, but the outside noise doesn't matter." And like you said, he knows he has to be better. He has to clean up some of the penalties. Obviously, the fumble last week was a big play in the game.
Yeah.
And it hurt the team. But there's some bad, but there's a lot more good. And that is just the state of college football when you're playing with 19, 20, 21-year-olds. And always no different. But I think he's handling the right way.
I thought you were going to say the tweet was, "The enemy speaks kindly and holds back."
The
classic wide receiver one tweet.
Last thing, here's just Yo-Yo talking about his where he thinks he fits best on the field, which is an interesting answer, and then just kind of his development to this point.
Everyone. Put me in as tackle, I'll do the same stuff.
Do you take pride in kind of having that versatility?
Yeah, for sure. It's like, that's what's going to get me quick on the field. They told me you want to play tight end? I said yes. They told me you want to play this, I practice guard, center, whatever. Like, I'm just ready to play whatever. I played right guard in the game, I played left guard in the game, I played center in the game, so I don't really care. I think I'm the best on every position. I haven't had no college experience at all. I mean, if you was here at practice last year, limited reps, but the thing that really helped me is, I couldn't show everything off the field because of the limited reps in practice, but off the field, I just like watching tape, learning the playbook, learning the defense. I'm international, I know I'm new to the game, but I feel like I'm the smartest, one of the smartest.
Hell yeah.
Talk your stuff, Yo-Yo.
Yeah.
That boy said, "I know I'm international, I'm new to the game, but I feel like I'm the smartest."
Hell
He was like, "I feel like I'm the best at every position." And I love that confidence. And it's one thing to have confidence, it's one thing to go out there and back it up with your play. And that's what he's done. And honestly, to me, he says, "Well, I'm the smartest," and he talks about he's always watching film and studying defenses right now. I would really consider, we're just talking about next year, really consider starting him out at center and see what that looks like.
Wherever you need him.
For sure, wherever you need him. But I think not only his size, but his football acumen, his IQ, I think that is that's something that I would like to see him potentially start at center next year. But he mentioned he's played center, right guard, left tackle, left guard, and obviously jumbo tight end this year. That's 4 of the 5 spots on the offensive line.
Or 4 of 5 of the 6.
Exactly. Yeah, right. So.
I quickly want to go back to the Omarion hand injury thing.
Okay.
Because I really do think that can explain some of the blocking issues.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even have to be conscious. Like as a wide receiver, your hands are all you have.
They're everything.
And
just about.
It might just be natural to not use them as violently as you need to in the blocking game because you don't want to hurt it worse. I think of like sometimes in golf, like you hit one super fat, you hurt your wrist.
Yeah.
And then for like the next 10, you're catching them thin because your brain is like, you wanted to swing it normally. Your brain is afraid to go back down into that dirt.
Definitely.
And I just think so. Your brain can sometimes get in the way of you wanting to do something a certain way.
Sure.
It is a mentality. It is a want to, but sometimes there's reasons for this stuff. And physically, there's nothing stopping him from being great in that part of the game. So I think he can get his technique and his want to up there.
Yeah.
Then he can be great at that.
For sure.
Shout out to Just a Girl. She goes, Shiloh definitely rubbed off on him. I saw him giving full-on hugs at the press conference. That's facts. I almost forgot that boy. Yo gave me like a full handshake and hug. Like, that's my dog for real. I ain't gonna lie. Like, right when he committed, like, last offseason before the 2024 season, like, I did a Zoom interview when he was still living out, obviously overseas and whatnot, and we've been locked in ever since. So it's cool that Yo-Yo still showing love. That's my guy for real.
That's awesome. We'll push everything
You're not
else.
taking a dude out of the game who put up 130 receiving yards and a touchdown.
For sure.
It's not happening.
It's not even a conversation. We'll push everything else to tomorrow, but it was a good show today.
Thanks.
Vibes are up in the facility. Like, I know it's not an ideal. What?
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just look. The team is what's the word? I mean, they're grounded in reality. They know where they are, right? They're talking about playing for pride today. I mean, that's all they have at this point. Like, they know this season hasn't been good and hasn't gone the way that anyone's wanted to, but the genuine excitement over Julian, the future, and just the cornerstones that are in the program already is people feel good in the building still.
Definitely.
I mean, this is going to be a wild offseason.
Yeah, it is.
I think there's going to be quite a few coaching changes. I think that there's going to be a lot of moves in the portal, as always.
Yep.
Some dogs on signing day. Like,
Definitely.
but this is going to, this is a era-defining offseason coming up.
100%.
We were talking about it with Snelly before the presser today. Signing day is in less than a month.
Yeah.
Like 3 weeks away from signing day.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, the weather, I feel like, has me fooled.
True. It's like 70 all this week. Just crazy.
Sun always shines when the Broncos are winning.
Facts.
Just a fact in Denver.
Today, 3 weeks from today is National
Right.
Signing Day, the opening of the early signing day period.
Did you guys catch any of the Northern Lights last night?
Yes. Bro,
Just on Twitter. I didn't see it with my own eyes.
well, so
unfortunately.
it was crazy. I went out
You
there.
should have a great view of it from your place.
Yeah, I don't know what I was doing, honestly.
I went out there and like I could see him, but then I took a picture with my phone and
Yeah.
it like lit up on my phone. I could see him way more on my phone than so that's from
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
yeah, some of the pictures out there.
They're
are
saying
insane.
it could be even better tonight.
Really?
Oh, it's supposed to be back tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, bet.
Let's go.
I'm going to be out there tonight. A telescope.
Oh, super chats, yes. All right. FF18 Buffs says London and Alex are the 2025 versions of.
Koenigsberg and Alfred from 1990.
I told London's dad that in person and at the BYU game, and he loved that. Hell yeah, man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, Koenigsberg, McGee, Alfred Williams, just insane edge guys.
I was looking up at the big portrait of Big Al in the indoor practice facility today. Like, what a dog.
Yo,
What's up, Peasy?
Peasy.
He says, Scotty, don't get it twisted. Megatron and Mosses of the world were never prototypes. They're freaks. Pause. The big shift was the emphasis of mastering the technicalities of position greater than freak ability.
That's valid. I don't completely agree. I didn't mention Randy Moss's name. I wouldn't have included him. I said Andre Johnson and Calvin Johnson. But I think the point you're making, PZ, is valid. Those guys are, particularly Randy Moss and Megatron, we're just freaks. But I think the point stands that the prototypical receiver that we see dominating the NFL nowadays has just changed from 10 years ago, let's call it.
there's not a lot of like Terrell Owens.
No, there's
Like even AJ Brown is like a route runner. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
It's like the Mike
Jamar
Evans
Chase,
of the
route
world.
runner.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
like kind of like a
yeah,
dying
I guess
breed.
not Mike up. Yeah,
yeah,
I feel
Cortland.
like they were.
Yeah,
I feel like even then they were like more jacked.
right.
for sure.
They were more just like red zone jump ball.
I would say Drake London is probably the most recent one who's kind
Yeah.
of joined ball
No,
out
I mean,
of that ilk.
The guys that we're talking about aren't dominating the way that those guys were.
Sure.
Facts.
Mike Evans would probably be the last. real
Nico
version of
Collins
that.
kind of fits that as well.
Nico's well rounded though. Peasy says that said, I think O is a borderline freak and agree JoJo is a prototype. Both def worthy of being named cornerstones for Juju and
Big homie Brett.
Big homie Brett to work with. That being said, I think I've talked about this before, but like the Panthers, like that's
Big
when
big homie Bartoloni. It rhymes.
Yeah, true. But yeah, you're right.
the Panthers and how they built their team kind of like really drove that point home for me that like route running and separation is everything, because early on in the Cam era, they were like, well, just get him these big targets. You know what I mean? Get Kelvin Benjamin and Devin Funchess and Greg Olsen and all these big targets. And like they did well, but it wasn't until, you know, Christian McCaffrey joins the team, DJ Moore. I mean, Steve Smith was really
I was going to
good.
say Steve Smith was
Like-
really, even late in his career, was the one who was really going off
For
with
sure.
Cam.
But like when they started switching to like route runners and guys who could separate, that's like when the offense really and this I don't know what side of the 2015 season lies on in regards to this, but like
I was gonna say they made a Super Bowl with that first group, didn't they?
yeah. But that Cam
yeah.
was just a superhero that year
Yeah.
too. Like
For sure.
It was all built around him.
Last one from Big Breeds Franklin. I could close my eyes and swear that RK is a sports show with Nipsey Hussle. LOL, Akib sounds just like bro. Shout out squad. Let's go Buffs.
From Naptown?
Naptown.
Sheesh. I didn't, she's right. I've never really thought about that. Akeem does sound a lot like Nip.
Yeah. No, people say that about him all the time.
That's crazy.
And both guys that I could listen to talk forever. Something about like their cadence that just like it just sounds cool.
Yeah.
All right, we're out of here. We'll be back tomorrow. Probably do picks Friday this week.
All right.
Bet.
So we'll see you guys then. Let's go Buffs.
Let's go Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.